What's up, you guys? Vac Attack here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Bissell Powerforce Helix Turbo Rewind. This is model 1797, so this is the earliest example of this body style, but they still make them like this to this day, except this window for the brush roll or whatever it's called. It's designed a little bit differently, but other than that, it's the exact same machine. And today I'm going to be going over it and why I feel like this personally is one of the best budget upright vacuums you could get, at least these days. So, yeah, let's get started. So, for starters, the bin setup and the filter setup. These, while the filtration system isn't all the greatest still, it is miles better than the older Bissells, especially the first gen Helixes and the Clean View Helixes, because it doesn't have the two separate bins and the easy empty system anymore. Instead, they moved to a more modernized, kind of standardized bin setup, and this one actually has a proper cyclone. I don't know if it's dual cyclonic, multi-cyclonic, or whatever. I don't know that for a fact, but what I can say is it's definitely a much better setup than the older Helixes, especially. So as a result, the filters don't get as dirty as quickly. In fact, I'll show the filter, which the filter's in here. It's a little dirty, actually, but it's still a better setup than what you'd find on the older ones anyway. But yeah, you just push this button, that comes off. You can click that back into place. There's also another filter down here. This one is a little dirty too, but it is what it is. Now, of course, this is a budget machine, so filtration's still not going to be the greatest, but you know, it is nice that they did upgrade it to make it, you know, just a little bit better. And it does really make a difference. But yeah, as you can see, this one has a nice green and black color. It's a nice color scheme for sure. So this one does feature a cord rewind, of course, because it is the rewind model. So you pull that cord out, and once you see yellow tape, that's when you stop pulling it out. So it should be coming up soon. Right there. And then, as you can see, you can press this button and the rewind does go in. Although it is worth mentioning, the rewind on this machine isn't all the greatest. I don't know what's up with that. You like have to pull it out and push the button a few times. It's really weird. But it will eventually go in. That's like the biggest drawback of this machine is the rewind system, but other than that, everything is fine. You do have your attachments on the back, so you have your extension wand and crevice tool. Now, unfortunately, this has a short, stubby crevice tool, but it is what it is. Of course, you do have your extension wand, which is also shorter than on the older Powerforces. But, you know, it is what it is because, you know, Bissell had to kind of save money somehow. Then you do also have your dusting brush, which this is not your typical combination tool that you would see on the older Bissells. So it's a little different than what you would see on like the older Bissells, but it is nice. I do like how it's color matched and everything. So that stores right there. And then your extension wand and crevice tool will store right here. Now, normally there would be cord hooks here and down here, but since this is obviously a rewind, then there's no need for that, so it is nice. What is nice about this compared to the standard Helixes, the turbos, the regular turbos have it too, but you get a nice stretch hose with this, so instead of it being your plastic hose that isn't very good sometimes, you get a nice stretch hose, and then to take it out, you just kind of twist it out, and it comes right out. And then you can pull that out and you can use your hose. Pretty self-explanatory. And if you need more reach, just slap on the extension wand and you're good to go. It's not that much more reach, but it does definitely help a little bit. You can always get aftermarket, you can always get like the big green extension wand and crevice tool. Those are going to be much longer. So that is definitely an option. I don't know if you'd be able to carry that on board, but you would at least be able to have those, which I feel is pretty nice. You can definitely, at the very least, put a longer extension or crevice tool in here and carry that on board. So there's definitely options. So if you feel like the reach isn't good enough, you can always go aftermarket. This is a twist and snap hose, so it's very simple. You just twist it, comes off, pop it back in, twist it, and it's back on. Very simple. Obviously that goes into here through the cyclone and everything, so that's kind of how vacuums work. You do have your foot release, which on this one is nice and redesigned. These ones are not nearly as likely to fail as the older style of the these foot pedal releases. This power switch is a lot smaller, but it's still your typical Bissell foot switch, so it works the exact same way. It's just smaller. And speaking of tools, you do have your turbo brush, so that just stores nice and neat on there. And if you need it, you just pull that off, comes off. And if you need to service it, these are very easy to service. You just twist this, and then you can pull this off, which I'm not going to do right now because it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory if you ask me. Then that just stores nicely back on there. And yeah, that's all the tools. That's let me show the bottom of this thing. So this is what the bottom looks like. You do have your height adjustment wheels, which I will show the height adjustments in a bit. Excuse me. This comes with a pretty nice colored brush roll. The bristles are like a nice white and green, which I think looks really good with the machine. I'm sure you can find replacements online, but I don't know if it'd be this color. It'd probably be like a black brush roller, which is fine, but you know. Excuse me. And replacing the brush roll and belt is easy. You just take out these there's 6 screws in here that you take out, and then this just comes off. It's very easy to work on. I did mention height adjustments, but I did not show the knob. This one has 5 height adjustments, so you have bare floor, although I would not recommend using these on bare floor because, especially since I don't think this one has a squeegee. I could be wrong, but I'm sure it does not have a squeegee. And with that being said, if you run this on hard floor, because there's no brush roll shut off, that brush roll is going to scratch and beat the absolute shit out of your bare floors, and it will scatter debris everywhere. So I would not recommend doing that. If you want to use this thing on hard floors, I would recommend getting a hard floor attachment and putting it on the hose, and just get a couple extra extension ones, and you can do it that way. But then you can go up to high carpet, and obviously you don't want to be one of those people who run it on bare floor on your carpet thinking it'll clean better. That is true, it'll pick up more stuff, but what happens is you can damage your brush roll and wear out the belt that way. So I would recommend not doing that. I would not recommend doing that. I'm sorry, my words are backwards today. But yeah, I would not recommend running it on bare floor. Make sure that it's adjusted correctly to whatever pile carpet you have. I run mine on medium because I run all my machines on medium and it works just fine. So yeah. But yeah, that's the kind of a short, but I feel like the review was in-depth enough. So now let's give this thing a quick run. And yeah, I did notice a couple people did tell me this, and I noticed it too. I have been vacuuming too fast, especially when pulling backwards, so it's not very effective. So today I'm gonna try and be a little slower and actually, you know, do the job somewhat properly. Or not even somewhat properly, just properly. Okay. And there is I did forget to mention, there is a cord clip right there that holds the cord in place. Then we will plug her in and give her a run. All right. Let's give her a quick run. Alright, there's the 1797. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please let me know what kind of video y'all would want to see next, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.